What is up, people? It is me, Monster58. Welcome back to another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the sort of highly anticipated but also controversial Transformers Studio Series Age of Extinction Titan Class Grimlock. I believe this is the Studio Series' first Titan, and when it comes to the first Titan, it's kind of fitting in a way, but for me as a collector specifically, one of my favorites was collecting like Grimlock and the Dinobots from, in general. I was kind of hoping that they were going to stick with the leader class size for these guys because we got Studio Series Grimlock from Age of Extinction years and years ago, and I was hoping that they would stick with that because at the end of the day, despite the fact that he isn't the correct size, right? We all know that in the movie Optimus Prime rides on Grimlock's back, and when you look at the leader class figure, he's greatly undersized, but I liked it because it still got the message across while still remaining small enough to where it was easy to put them on the shelf. But Hasbro were like, no, screw that. We are just going to make them all Titans now. So they've confirmed they're going to make them all Titans, starting with obviously the leader, the T-Rex himself, Grimlock, as he appeared in both technically Age of Extinction as well as The Last Knight. And so when it comes to Grimlock here, the controversial part is going to be the fact that they made him a Titan to begin with, but the other one is his price. At the end of the day, I'm going to come straight forward with, this guy's $200, and there was a lot of people questioning whether this guy was going to be worth that $200 price point. And whether he is worth that, we'll get to that in the review. But regardless, taking a look at the box here, you can obviously see the nice artwork here of Grimlock as he appeared in the movie. You'll see him probably standing up because this box is huge. And then you can see the Transformers Studio Series, Transformers Age of Extinction, the Grimlock right there as well. It's not as big as like a conventional Studio Series, like Titan class box or just a Titan class box in general. It's about the same size as Star Prime, but at the end of the day, it's still quite a large box. And then it's hard to see on camera, but you have some more nice artwork here of Grimlock in his robot mode. Then on the other side here, you have some more nice artwork with the, the logo and everything like that, the Transformers there. And then you spin here to the back, and then you can see your obligatory product shots here on the back. Transforms in 59 steps. There's his dinosaur mode. There is his robot mode, obviously. And so overall, when it comes to how this guy looks, we'll get into that, but box looks really good. They did a really good job with it overall, folks. And so with that all out of the way, I think the Hasbro did a really good job with the packaging, folks. And so without further ado, alrighty, folks, here we have the Transformers Studio Series, Transformers Age of Extinction, Titan class, not leader class, Titan class Grimlock out of the box and in his T-Rex mode. And I gotta say, guys, this guy looks pretty awesome. There's a couple of things, obviously, well, there's actually a few things that bother me about this guy in his Dino mode, but for the most part, they did a really, really good job. One of the things you're gonna see here that a lot of people have pointed out that bothers them, but personally doesn't bother me, I know a lot of reviewers are also bothered by this, is the fact that you can kind of see through, like particularly in his neck area. So if I wave my hand here, you can obviously, you can obviously see that you can see my hand behind there, which is a bit of a shame. But at the end of the day, when you have the way that Bay decided to design these characters in his films, and you look at how they transform in those films, it's really, really hard to get everything to fill up together to where you can't see my hand going behind, in those gaps and everything like that. But at the end of the day, it's like, I can't really fault the toy designers for not getting it quite the best because, I don't know, I just don't feel it's feasible when you try to get it into an actual real physical engineering toy form. That's just me personally. But when it comes to the actual, design of this guy, I think they did the proportions really, really nicely. I actually think, especially when you compare it to the leader class version, this guy kind of gets the proportions just a bit better. Now, when it comes to the paint aspect of this guy, you can see this guy is riddled with incredibly good detail. You can see all that awesome paint. It looks really good. You can see the red in the eyes there as well. A little hard to see with my light and everything like that, but the teeth are the soft rubber plastic, which doesn't bother me. The tongue is also technically articulated in there. You can open and close the top jaw, but the bottom jaw is locked, which is a bit unfortunate. The arms are also articulated. You can do that much. You can do rotation here as well. You can bend about that much. Legs are also articulated, but I don't like to move them all that much because he's kind of a little unstable depending on how you pose them. But they do go like back and forth. They also rotate at the ankles very nicely, and you can adjust the toes as well. But when it comes to the detail, I mean, you can see this guy looks really, really good all around. I have no major issues with how this guy looks in particular. You can see the tail is crazy long. It's longer than most figures. I'm going to tell you this right now. This guy I believe from head to tail is a bit bigger, a bit longer than 2 feet long, which is huge. Because it like doubles his size in robot mode. Like in his robot mode, he's like half the size of how long he is here in his T-Rex mode. But he looks really, really good. The other issue I do have with him is the lack of articulation in the tail. But that's because that actually becomes his staff, which is really, really cool. And the other detriments are more that when we get into the transformation, I'll talk about them. But just know that his wrecking ball is actually stored in his butt over there. But you can see really nice detail across the board. He just looks really, really nice. I think they did a bang-up job with him in terms of his looks and everything like that. Now, when it comes to the paint, what we'll do is we're just going to do our comparisons right away. So we're actually just going to... I was going to move him off to the side, but we kind of have to keep him there. So there's Grimlock. You can see down there, there's the Transformers Legacy United Infernac Universe Deluxe Class Magnus. He's tiny. You can see how small he is in comparison to the Titan Class Grimlock that we have here. He's really, really small in comparison, but that's what you get when you have a figure like this. Part the reason I also know that they made him this big is because they wanted to scale with the Leader Class Age of Extinction Prime, which, by the way, for that figure, a review of that will be coming out at some point. I just haven't had the I don't know. I haven't picked that figure up yet, but I do plan on picking it up at some point. I do have a replacement Optimus here today to sort of show you the idea of what they were supposed to do with this guy. But overall, really, really crazy size. I mean, you can see how big he is. And I'm sorry we have to compare him like this, but here he is with the Leader Class one. You can see the size difference is huge, but what you can see with the Leader Class one, he kind of looks a bit weird in his Dino mode with the way that his legs are kind of proportioned. There's something, about his sort of this area that just kind of looks weird, especially from the front. Meanwhile, when I put this guy up to the side a bit, and you look at this guy here, he just looks better, and there's one of the issues that we have right there. So we will reattach the tail like so. But when you look at this guy, he just looks better proportioned in general. I apologize for that, but that's one of the issues I do have with this figure. But we'll talk about that later. But when you're comparing him to this, I think that they did the head on this guy a little bit better in terms of its functionality and everything like that. But in terms of the looks, I mean, this guy here, the Titan class one, absolutely steals the show. I think that they just did a really, really good job at capturing what we saw in the film. The other thing I'd like to point out here on the Dino mode is, we didn't do the comparison, we'll just put this guy off to the side at this point. Sorry, this review is so disjointed. It's been a minute since I've done this, since I've done reviews in general, or really filmed, and there's a lot that's been happening in my personal life, which is not all that great. But we're here now trying to get this review out for you guys. But this little piece here, on how well you can see that. This little piece here has that little tab right there, right there. You can see that teeny little tab where I'm pointing. When you fold this out, so we're going to remove this, you fold this down, and then that is how you attach Optimus Prime. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring in this Optimus Prime. So this is the one that came with his trailer from Dark of the Moon, I believe. And so we're going to do this, and then all you have to do is flip this up. And then you can tab this back down, and then from here what we're going to do, he's actually got a little tab in the actual Leader Class one, also has a tab hole right there. So what you can do is I'm not going to tab it right into place, but you can see the idea here. And this is really cool, actually. Like, despite the fact that, I'm going to kind of push him off to the back there, but you can see that is a really, really, really cool set piece to have, and I think that that's awesome that they included this feature to begin with, and this is why they made him a Titan class figure, beyond the fact that obviously they just want to make a big dinosaur, right? So at the end of the day, this guy, it looks really, really good. Again, this is not the correct Optimus, I know that, but I do plan on eventually getting it, and when I do get that, I will try my best to show this off once again with the correct Optimus Prime. But really, this is awesome, and if you have any other Voyager Prime, the Leader class one is going to be a teeny bit bigger, but all relatively speaking, this is a pretty good size, and I really do like how this looks. So, folks, like I said, I'd like to apologize again for the disjointedness of this review. A lot's been happening in the personal life, so I'm trying to get back into the swing of filming. So if this review does feel that way, I do apologize. I try to keep everything a bit organized, but regardless, now time for the transformation. And this is where he's really cool, but also a teeny bit frustrating. It's a really not frustrating transformation. It's just there's a couple of things about it that are more the accessories than anything else that annoy me about this guy. But when it comes to the transformation, it's actually pretty cool. So I apologize if the camera is going to be a bit, wonky in how I film everything because this guy is huge and I don't have that much room to just kind of grab him. So what we're going to do is we're going to come here to the back first and you're going to take the tail and you're going to detach it and then he's kind of top of you. But this becomes his mace actually, which is really, really awesome. So you're going to flip this. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this entire section and you're going to start to untab all of this. You're going to flip this down like this and then you're going to take this section here in the middle. You're going to split this section as well. You're then going to see these are sliders right here. You're going to slide them down like this on both sides. This side in particular has always been the tougher one, for me at least. And then you fold these in. You then fold these back up, and then I just push them down just to make sure. Fold this all in, and then there, you have his mace. And when it comes to his mace, I'll just get this out of the way. The reason it's not articulated the tail is because, well, this is the tail. There's no way to bend this, and plus, these are all individual segments, and then you can, readjust this part where he actually holds it. But this is super weighty and everything like that. But that is the mace transform, so we'll set that off to the side for the time being. This is the other part that annoys me about him. So the way you store the wrecking ball is you have to clip it onto these little things on this, little edge of the actual wrecking ball. This does not like to stay in for me very well. And I've done my best all the time, but it always takes me a long time. So you want to remove that, but mine already fell off. And then you want to take this section, which for me doesn't tab in the best, and then you want to untab it. You want to fold these sections down. And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to take this top section and you're going to detach it. This is a tough peg. You're going to rotate it like this, and then you're going to sort of fold these up in the above like this, and then you should have enough clearance at some point here. We'll just get this out of the way. We'll just lift this up. Then you can lift these up even further, and then you should have enough clearance to fold this like so. Then from here, we're going to come here to the front with the head, and then you can start to split the head. You can do this. This whole bottom section will split like so. And then you'll take the bottom jaw, you also split this like so, and then that part should come undone. So you're going to rotate all this down, and to take the tongue and you're going to fold it in as well. Then from here, what I'm going to do is we're going to take the legs and we're going to sort of straighten them out. It's a bit of a jumbled mess right now, but trust me, it's all good. Then you'll take the feet and you'll rotate them down to give them some clearance. Then on each side, you're going to fold those up, rotate these panels all the way around. And then you're going to clip these into place like so. You can do the same here. So you're going to fold this section up, rotate this section all the way down like so. Fold this and snap it into place. Then you can sort of straighten the legs out like so. Like this. Then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to take these panels, you're going to unclip them from either side, rotate them around like so. Then you can take this entire section and you can rotate it like this. Then from here, you're going to straighten the legs down like so. And then here's where we can start to bring the camera up a bit. There we go. And then from here, this upper section is a bit confusing, but not too bad. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this section, you're going to untab this section here, and then you are going to rotate this down, or start to rotate it down. Then you want to take this section and fold it out here. So right here, you're going to fold this out, fold the waist to get more clearance. Then you're going to push the arms down so you have more clearance here, and then you're going to rotate the head up. You're going to pull that out. You're going to take this little rib section, fold it in, put that into place, rotate the arm all the way around like so. Then you're going to fold it down like so. You're going to open this section, rotate the fist out, snap that back into place. Then from here, what you're going to see is you're going to rotate this up. This is also going to get rotated up and snapped into place. And you'll see that there is a tab hole right there, and there's that tab. So what you'll do, let's see if I have that in frame. I do. You're going to push this, rotate it up and accordion it, and snap that right into place. You're you're going to rotate this around, and then you're going to fold this section out. Very similar here on this arm, although not one and the same. You're going to rotate this all the way around, fold this down. You're going to come here, open this section, rotate the fist out, fold that in, rotate this around, fold this spike up. Very similar. There is a little tab hole right there, and then there's a tab underneath the head. And what you're going to do, you're going to rotate this up. You're going to fold these ear pieces in, or the spike pieces in. Maybe you want to do that here. Sorry about that. Fold that there, like that. Fold them in, all the way in. Then rotate this down. Do your best to snap that into place. Mine doesn't snap in the best, but it's alright. I always have a hard time with this part. And then from here on the back, what you're going to do, you're going to come here to the back. What I like to do is, it's kind of personal preference, but I like to rotate these like this. Then there you go. That's basically the back section. So these will lie flush like that. Then all you gotta do, rotate this and push this down. Rotate the dino arms in, and then you can position these however you want. But I like to bend them in like so. And then, well, ladies and gents, one of the last things to do is come here to the feet, and then you can lift these up as well. Here we have the Transformers Studio Series Age of Extinction Titan Class Grimlock in his robot mode. And guys, I gotta say, he does look really, really, really good. I think they did an absolutely fantastic job of giving us the character that we saw on screen in his robot mode in this robot mode that we see here in the figure. They did a really bang-up job with the proportions, the design. I think they really absolutely nailed how this guy looks. So taking a look at the details here, we're going to bring this guy in. You can see the head sculpt is absolutely stunning. I mean, look at all that detail, the red eyes, the spike on his head is made of soft rubber plastic, but I don't care. Looks really good. Look at the detail here on his chest with the teeth and everything like that. That's really awesome. And the fact that the dino head, that part is really, really awesome. Like the fact that this just kind of clips on like that when it's underneath the actual chin and everything like that. That is super, super cool. But all that detail, I mean, look at coming through here. It looks really, really, really good. Like, I think they did such a good job with how this guy looks. I mean, you can see the only thing I'd say is the back kind of looks not great. You can see that on the back. I'm not quite a fan of how the back of the figure looks, but overall, I still think they did a really, really good job. It's just kind of messy, and when you look at this from the front, you can see all the crap on the back, but it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's certainly probably the worst thing about the robot mode. Actually, no, it is the worst thing about the robot mode, but when you're coming and looking at all the details, I mean, you can see even the legs are extremely well detailed, and you can see this guy is very, very solid. Very nice plastic quality, joints feel really good. I mean, he just feels and looks super cool and super, super imposing. When it comes to his robot mode, I'll tell you this straight off the bat. I really don't think that there's much bad about his robot mode. Now, for me, and I assume for a good chunk of people as well, they're not really going to keep this guy in his robot mode. I'm absolutely going to keep this guy in his T-Rex mode because he's a freaking Dinobot. I mean, why would you keep him in his robot mode unless it's like display space constraints and stuff like that? Overall, though, he looks really, really good. Now, to do his mace, we'll attach his mace. If you come here, he's got a little, you can see that big freaking peg hole in there. And then what I like to do is you can in here and there, you can absolutely see how massive it is. I mean, it's huge, and you can obviously readjust the actual handle point, so you can put the handle a bit farther up so he can actually like put it on the ground and stuff like that. But yeah, this is really, really cool. This mace alone is bigger than most figures that I own. It's huge, guys. Like, I won't be able to describe it to you unless you see it in person or you get this figure. This mace is absolutely massive. Now, to do the wrecking ball, it's very simple. You just peg this in like so. You know, the pegs go into the fist, the hole in the fist, and bam, he's got his wrecking ball, which is really, really cool. So I really do like that. It looks great. Now, if you want to store some stuff, we can remove this. What you can do is here on the back, he's got a peg. It's hard to see, sorry. He's so big, and my review studio isn't the biggest. It's hard to see, but he's got like a little peg hole there, and then you can take this, and then you can peg this right in there like so. It looks weird, but the fact is he does have storage. It's neat, but I like it looks so like look at it looks so dumb because of the way that I have it. But yeah, I mean that's how you can store it. Yeah, if you lean it back a bit more, I mean you can store it a bit better. But yeah, I mean you can see the storage is like whatever. It's there. You can do it. And the other one is if we remove this, you can actually store the wrecking ball as well. So come here, we're gonna split this down the middle. Then you can just re-tab it, and then basically, I believe, where is it? Yeah, this little peg here. Well, you see this little hole on his, this little hole right there on his one of his dino arms, his T-Rex arms. You can just find the best angle to plug that in. It looks really weird too, but the fact is, it's there. The storage is there. But the one thing I'd like to talk about when it comes to his accessories, since we're doing the details and the accessories here, I'll say this. The one accessory that this guy does not come with that is a crime against this movie, in my opinion, and the representation of the character, no flame breath effect part. And that's a real shame, because in my opinion, out of all the things that Grimlock did and the Dinobots did in the movie, and in the movies, the coolest thing was the fact that they could breathe fire. And the fact that he doesn't have one, especially considering how much he costs, is a real shame. I don't know the cost of this guy, you know, how much he was to make and everything like that, what their budget was like considering everything. But guys, you could have given us a flame breath effect part. Like, there's no flame breath effect part that we even have that would really look good on this guy unless you have like some big third-party one that you use for other displays or figures and whatnot that aren't Transformers. It's just a shame that of all the things for this guy not to come with, this guy doesn't come with a flame breath effect part, and it's quite a shame. But overall, when you're looking at this guy, we're comparing him to the film, I think the robot mode is an absolute smash hit. Just honestly, like the T-Rex, again, the T-Rex's biggest complaints for me really were the weapon storage, and we'll talk about them more when we get into the conclusion. And it's not even how it's integrated, it's more of it's kind of loose. And the gappiness and the fact that the tail isn't articulated. You know, at the end of the day, it's not that bad, but it's, you know, stuff to note. But I do think that, funnily enough, out of the two forms, I do think that the robot mode is probably the better done despite the backpack. Overall, I just think that they really nailed it. They nailed it in both times. So I think that if you had to give the edge to the robot or the T-Rex, I think that the robot mode takes in terms of that it's better done overall, but I do think that the T-Rex is absolutely more imposing. But what we're going to do is we're going to do our size comparison. So what we're going to do is you might just kind of move him a little bit off to the side because he's so damn huge. And we'll move the camera back just a tiny bit because, man, he is, and I'm sorry if you see the edges of my review studio, but like I said, this guy is big. He's a big character. He's by far the biggest one I've done in this new review studio. So there's Grimlock. Alrighty, folks, here he is with the Transformers Legacy United and Fernac Universe Deluxe Class Magnus. As you can see, just an absolutely massive size difference. Alrighty, folks, and here he is with the Transformers, I believe, Studio Series. This was the leader class, you know, Optimus Prime from Dark of the Moon with his trailer. As you can see, obviously, the Age of Extinction one's still going to be a little bit bigger, but for the most part, this is okay when it comes to the scale in robot mode. Obviously, I think that Grimlock should be still bigger, but that means they would have had to make the Dino mode bigger, so it would have kind of thrown off the scale of the Dino mode. But overall, I think that they did a pretty damn good job of representing the size scale between these two. Can you imagine this guy got punched in the face by Optimus and he still rocked him? Pretty crazy, huh? And here he is with the leader class one. As you can see, there's a huge size difference. I'll just give you an idea of how big the mace is. Look at that. Look how big the mace is. It's like, it's taller than him. Like, it's absolutely massive how big that mace is. But as you can see, absolutely massive size difference. I still think that they might have done they've done the paint a little bit better on the leader class one. But overall, this isn't bad paint whatsoever. I just think that it kind of looks a bit better on the leader class one. But overall, you can see the differences in the robot mode. Definitely the major thing I'll say about the robot mode of the leader class one is they definitely cleaned up the back better than the Titan class one here. But overall, I'm not complaining too much. I still think that this is a really, really cool figure. And so when we're looking at the size here, I definitely think that this new Grimlock absolutely nails that size that we're sort of that we saw in the movie. So for the most part, again, I think he's a teeny bit undersized, but I still think that they did an absolutely awesome job with how big and robust this guy feels. Now, he is smaller than Star Optimus Prime, but I do think that he feels a bit more put together. Now, not in every way, but overall, I think that he's a better put together figure in terms of the plastic density in comparison to Star Optimus Prime. Alright, folks, time for his articulation. So his articulation is pretty good. So his head is on a ball joint, so you can go up and down like this. You can't really do a full 360, but you can look left to right. The shoulders can do a full 360, and they're on ratchets as well. You can hear that. They can go up about that far, and then obviously the transformation joint makes them go even farther. They can go down as well. Rotation here at the upper part of the bicep. Then you have 90 degrees at the elbow. You have wrist articulation as well as opening and closing fists, which I hope you can see, opening and closing fists, wrist articulation as well. Then the waist. So these can move. These can also move. So what you can do here is you saw it in the transformation as well, but I like to, you can rotate full 360, just the arms and stuff get in the way. Let's remove the stupid wrecking ball here. We can see these will move out of the way like so. And then for the legs, what I like to do, you can lift these up, kick forward about that far, back a bit further, 90 degrees at the knee, rotation the upper part of the thigh, and then you should push these feet together. I forgot to do that earlier in the video, so I probably put that on text on the screen. And then he has some ankle rocker pivot. So this guy can actually get into some pretty cool freaking poses with how big he actually is as a figure. So yeah, I hope I was able to get that on camera, so I apologize if that wasn't the best, but his articulation is pretty solid, and you can get him into some really nice poses overall. Alrighty, folks, time for his reverse transformation. So we're going to try to do this, not terribly. I'll try my best to make this as watchable as possible, so I apologize if there are some wrongdoings in this, but let's start off with the top here. So what we're going to do is we're going to sort of straighten him out at the top. Like this, like that. What I like to do first, you can rotate the arms, and then you can fold these out and fold the fists in again here as well. Then from here, what you can do is rotate these back around. Then what you're going to do, take this section, pull this out, fold this little section out, fold this up, then rotate the head in. Then as you fold this up, what you can do is you can start to unpeg the heads like so. Do the same thing on this side. Then rotate this all the way around like so. Take this all the way around like so as well. And then you can actually fold this up fully after you rotate both of these up like that and put those into place, and then see if I can even increase the height. I think that's about as high as I can go, unfortunately, so I'll try to pull this a bit down. So what you want to do is rotate this around like so, then rotate this around like so. You have it like this. You want to keep it like this. And then what you want to do is we will come over here. You're going to rotate the arm section up and around and in like that. And then what you're going to do is we're going to get the heads out of the way. This is the trickiest part of the transformation. You're going to move the arms, rotate them around, and get them out of the way to give yourself clearance. I like to rotate them down like so. And what you'll see here is that there is a peg hole right in there. This on its various joints will line up. So you want to bend it down. You really just have to mess around with it until you get this right. It always takes me a bunch of tries to get this correct, but we'll do it here. So there, you want to get it like this. Again, it's a ton of just like bending this up and down and then pushing this back down. That's the best advice I can give you. Take the tongue, flip it, and it'll peg into that little peg hole right there. And then from here, you see that there is a tab right there and there is a hole right there. You want to try your best to line this up. Those will tab into place. Then you can take the bottom jaw, then you can accordion this up Oh, this is the top jaw. I apologize for that. You can accordion this around, and then you can flip out the stupid ears, or the horns, I guess you would say here. Then you can keep that up like so. Then this bottom jaw will accordion up, and then that will attach into place. You want to fold this bit down as well. Then you can take this section, you can fold it down. This will tab into this little hole here, and then you can rest that up like so. And then there you have this section of the robot done. You can see how, or the dynamo done. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to, I believe, rotate it towards this way. And then from here, what you're going to do is fold this bit down. You're going to take these sections and start to fold this up and around and accordion these. You want to lift this up a bit. So you want to lift it up like this and get these to flatten out on either side, like so. And then you can rotate this and snap that into place. And then from here, you're going to take the arms, you're finally going to fold them like so, and you'll take the side panels, you'll fold them, and what you'll do is as you accordion them, there will be, you can see a peg hole right there, there's a little peg right there, and then I'll peg on this side, and then on this side it's very similar, so you'll rotate this around, there's a peg hole right there, there's a peg right there, you'll peg that into place. And then from here, you'll see that there are little tabs here to lock the legs in, but I don't like to use those. So what you're going to do, accordion those, I like to bend them like so. I'm going to take one leg, untab it, rotate it up like so, and there. These panels do not like rotating very well without detaching themselves, and that's annoying. But what you'll see is that as you rotate them around, there is a little tab right there, and then these should slot into place when you sort of line these up. So what you want to do, you want to bend the leg all the way, fold the toe like so. You can spread out the toes, and you can fold. So this part was like this. You want to fold it down, fold these down as well, like so. Took a little bit of doing, but there you go. That should tab in like so. Then do the same for the other side. Alrighty, now with both legs done, what you want to do here on the back, we're going to lower the camera because this guy is going to tip over because he is front heavy. What you want to do here is when you come here to attach the stupid wrecking ball, you want to attach them in like this. It's so weird, like this. And this should clip into place, but I guess you should rotate these down like so first. Right, like this. Oh, I guess I screwed that. I thought I had that up. Alright, like I said, you have it like this. You want to do your best to clip this into place. And of course, it's always so annoying like that. And then you want to clip it all together like this. And then you can see this is already starting to... Mine doesn't like, look at that. Mine never likes to stay fully together. Then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to transform this again. So what you want to do is open this up, accordion all this up, flip these bits out, accordion this, and then snap it all together, snap that together. You want to take this section, fold it down, and then what I like to do to be careful here is I hold this, and then these spikes should go on the bottom, so sort of hold it together. Line up the tabs as well. This is I told you, this is so annoying. Then what you want to do is line this all up, tab that all into place, and ladies and gentlemen, here we have the Transformers Studio Series Age of Extinction Titan Class Grimlock back in his T-Rex mode. And so guys, for my final concluding thoughts on the Transformers Studio Series Age of Extinction Titan Class Grimlock, this guy is good, but not perfect. At the end of the day, when it comes to his detriments, he's a little bit gappy in his Dino mode. He doesn't come with the Flame Breath effect part. I do think that his storage for his accessories, although good, not the best integrated in terms of like how loose they are, because even now, I've had this guy sometimes standing on my desk and the tail will just fall off. So I imagine over time that those tabs will just end up becoming really, really loose. I don't know if there's some way that you can tighten them up with maybe like floor polish or something like that. But it's quite a shame that that's how those tabs are, even though that the dyno mode does look really, really good in my opinion. The other thing is the transformation, although it is it's fun and complicated, has a couple of frustrating moments, particularly with his accessories. But that goes back to the accessories for the most part. And then when you get into his robot mode, I think the worst part about him is his backpack. It kind of sucks, all that, skirt piece and those big, obtrusive looking things on his back that are required for his dyno mode are a bit annoying. And the other big detriment I'd say is like trying to like transform him back into his dyno mode. Man, reattaching that tail and getting all that stuff to tab together, including his wrecking ball, is really annoying. I also think that his robot mode storage isn't the best, but despite all that, I really do think that this is a really solid figure. He looks great in his dyno mode, really awesome paint, really great detail. He feels hefty, really nice plastic quality. He just feels super, super dense. All the detail looks really, really good. In addition to that, the transformation is the good type of complicated in my opinion, despite the accessories kind of messing with that. And then when you get into his robot mode, I think they absolutely nailed him. And I really do like the feature that you can put Optimus on, Grimlock's back. I also really like how well that the mace integrates. I love how it transforms. I like how big it is. I like that the wrecking ball is very easy as well to put on his hand. He poses really well in his robot mode, even though his dyno mode doesn't have the best articulation. At the end of the day, this is a really solid figure, but the big question is he worth $200? Personally, I don't think so. I think that if they priced this the same way they did Star Prime, I think that would have been a bit better. But I do think that overall, he's still a really solid pickup. I just don't know if $200 personally, if you put a GUN to my head, that this would be the right pickup. But overall, I still think that he's a fun figure. And so out of a score out of a 10, I'm going to give him an 8 and definitely going to try and pick up the other Dinobots as well. So, I did pick mine up on Big Bad Toy Store, so leave a link in the description of that. I'll leave links down below to Hasbro Pulse, as well as Amazon if you guys wish to use those online retailers instead of Big Bad Toy Store. But with that all out of the way, guys, that's really it for the review. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Also follow me in the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video review, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.